Greetings and welcome to another impressions video here at Words About Games, and today we're going to be looking at Book of Demons. Book of Demons is a hack and slash dungeon crawler mixed with some deck building. Players take on the role of a heroic dungeon diver who must defeat the demonic army that has taken up residence beneath the old cathedral and, with the help of a ragtag group of villagers, must save the paperverse from the evil archdemon. Book of Demons is a game that puts players in control of the type of experience they're looking to get out of it. Whether you want to enjoy a more casual experience or crank the challenge all the way up to roguelike, which modifies the game in the ways you'd expect given the name. This is most evident, however, in the game's unique flexi-scope mechanic, which allows players to tailor how long each run into the dungeon will last. Each time you venture into the dungeon, you'll be finding precious loot, cash, and making your way to a quest, the next milestone on your road to hell, and a confrontation with the archdemon. The Flexiscope allows players to customize how many levels they'll fight through at a time, letting you choose roughly how long you'll spend with the game. As you progress through the game and level up your character, new options will unlock in the Flexiscope, allowing you to further increase how many levels a single run can encompass. It's a great system that works well with Book of Demons' procedurally generated levels, allowing players the flexibility to decide how much time they want to put into any particular run. The longer you go for, the bigger the rewards when you merge out the other side. It's not so much risk-reward, as you're not adding levels so much as you are just deciding how many you want to tackle before being given the option to return to town and take a brief respite before braving the next section. Naturally, the longer you go for, the more gold, gear, and XP you'll ultimately earn. You'll have the opportunity to earn all of this anyway, you're just deciding how many checkpoints you'll hit along the way. And this is an easy game to play through. While there is certainly a level of challenge to some of Book of Demons' more populated areas, the game actually shares a few mechanics with clicker games. You'll navigate dungeons whether with WASD or clicking to move, restricted to the paths that handily appear. Attacking monsters is as simple as hovering the mouse cursor over them. Your character will auto-attack whoever you're hovering over at any particular moment. Auto-attacks are slow, of course, and will likely land you in a heap of trouble should you rely solely on them. Clicking allows you to drastically speed up the amount of attacks you're doing, eventually becoming necessary as the game begins to grant enemies new abilities. Shielded enemies, for example, will need to have their shields broken by clicking on a specific icon before you're able to directly damage their health. The game will also keep you on your toes to make sure you're not just mindlessly spamming attacks by introducing mechanics such as the range meter, which builds quickly depending on how fast you attack certain enemies, unleashing powerful counterattacks if it fills up. It's an interesting combat system, and a welcome one if you're looking for a more casual dungeon crawling experience. On difficulties below roguelike, however, it doesn't offer much challenge, as most encounters can be brute forced simply by clicking on everything in sight until it stops moving. It's possible to get overwhelmed by the sheer number of attacking enemies, especially during boss fights, but the game is fairly generous with healing items, powerfully helpful abilities, and level ups, meaning it's not terribly difficult to keep your health topped up, no matter how many attacks you're being bombarded with. It's also not without its flaws. Dodging ranged attacks feels cumbersome, thanks to the game limiting your movement to set paths throughout the dungeon. Your enemies don't suffer the same restrictions, so the angles of attack can make it more difficult to move out of the way than would otherwise be necessary. Similarly, tying both movement and attacks to the click of your mouse can see you inadvertently charging into the middle of large groups of enemies if you're less than precise with where you click. This is all in the service of gaining loot, and driving back the forces of evil, I guess, but mostly the loot. Murdering your way through the various dungeons sees you collecting cards, which are your abilities and skills. You equip them to free card slots to unlock everything from health potions to passive buffs to special abilities such as Fear, which can be activated to send monsters fleeing from you should you get too close. You'll also find special upgrade cards that allow you to improve your deck. Extra slots are unlocked with gold collected from slain enemies, and pots. Oh, so many pots. It's a well thought out system that keeps you invested in crawling through dungeons. The Flexiscope lets you see roughly how much gold you'll net for a run, so you'll easily be able to chart a course to your next upgrade or unlock. Combined with the interesting level up system, which sees you able to immediately choose extra health or mana and gives you the chance to pay it again whichever boost you missed back in town, and Book of Demons features a nice leveling curve. When it's all put together, you've got a fun little game. The pace with which you unlock new abilities and level up ties nicely to the casual nature of the core gameplay, which, when combined with the Flexoscope's ability to let you tailor the length of each run, means you're always working towards something, even if you've only got 10 minutes to spare. Plus, there's the added challenge of roguelike mode for those seeking more difficulty. While the core gameplay does have some quirks, they're easily overcome and don't harm the experience too much, making Book of Demons an easy game to recommend if you're in the market for a casual, loot-crawling experience. Thank you very much for watching this video, guys. If you've enjoyed it, please keep it here at Words About Games. We've got tons of content, including our weekly podcast, more impressions videos, patch notes, and our weekly indie game of the week. We also stream over on Twitch at twitch.tv/wordsaboutgames every Monday, Thursday, and Saturday. And most importantly, have a great day.